Welcome to Dateline Polk with news about your county government. I'm your host, Crystal Roll. Today you'll learn about County Commission actions from the August 2nd board meeting. The board approved an interlocal agreement with the Polk County School Board for off-site road and utility improvements for the Citrus Ridge K-8 school, along with amendments to the roads and drainage and utilities capital improvement plans. The project will extend the length of the Sand Mine Road by about 1,300 feet, along with a 12-inch water line, an 8-inch force main, and an 8-inch reclaimed water line. In this project, the county will reimburse the school board the funds for construction, which are not to exceed $650,000. The money used in the project will come from the Utilities Enterprise Fund and the Northeast Polk Roadway Fund. Under the county attorney's portion, the board approved a license agreement with Timothy Woodbury for landscaping, fencing, and gate in Asher Woods Court right-of-way in Lakeland.
The item that the board had on its agenda to consider this morning was an approval or a denial of a license agreement for the use of a small portion of right-of-way for Asher Woods Lane, so that it would allow the property owner to place some fencing and shrubbery and landscaping within the right-of-way.
The board approved the reappointment of Damian Moses to serve as the minority representative member of the Polk County Citizens Healthcare Oversight Committee for a 4-year term, which expires August 21st, 2020. John Lute also was approved by the board to be reappointed as a member of the Tourist Development Council through June 2020. In other news, during the morning recess, the RFP Committee for Residential Waste Collection, which is made up of Polk's 5 county commissioners, met to oversee the final stages of selecting the county's new residential garbage haulers. In the new contracts, which will be awarded in the coming months, the county will be divided into 3 separate areas for collection. The selection committee was provided with the response package from each of the 5 companies vying for business in the new districts. Scoring of those RFP packets is scheduled for August 9th, and interviews with companies will be held on August 12th. In public hearings, during the afternoon session, the board vacated portions of right-of-way on property east of Davenport to give legal access to the rear portion of property where a new home is planned. A second vacating of right-of-way also was approved on the plat of Juanita Farms, which is southwest of Winter Haven. Board members approved the vacating of platted public utility easement in southeast Lakeland to allow the property owners to build a portion of their home on a portion of the property where the easement is currently located. Commissioners also voted to vacate Bannon Loop Road, which is southeast of Haines City. The road cuts through the existing properties of Clay Cut LLC, which operates a sand mine and a construction and debris landfill. To help with emergency response and confusion with road naming for residents, the board approved a resolution to rename Poinciana Parkway Marigold Avenue. The consistency in the name will help emergency responders find addresses quicker. The board approved a large-scale comprehensive plan map and text amendment to change the future land use designation for the creation of the North Lakeland Commerce Park off Memorial Boulevard in Lakeland. The board also approved an amendment to the Land Development Code for the same property. Between the first hearing in early June and now, additions to the business parks plans include additional sidewalks and bike lanes to help with school traffic near the area. A transmittal public hearing on nearly 72 acres of land in North Lakeland, which would change its future land use designation from residential low to leisure recreation was tabled in a 4-to-1 vote by the board, with the hope that a remedy can be found for parking vehicles on the owner's property. The board held several other transmittal public hearings throughout the afternoon on a large-scale comprehensive plan map amendments to change the future land use from residential medium to institutional on 15 acres of land, which is now owned by Warner University. The school purchased the property from the South Lake Wells Church of God, which operated an adult congregate living facility on the site, but the school converted it to a dormitory for student housing. Agricultural, residential, rural to institutional on 250 acres owned by Clay Cut LLC, which operates a solid waste management facility, a sand mine, and construction and debris landfill on property south of Haines City. Employment center to residential medium on 74 acres owned by Holly Hill Grove Road CPA. Residential low to leisure recreation on about 422 acres owned by Sandland RV and Golf Resort in Lakeland. Phosphate mining to agriculture, residential rural on about 17 acres owned by Pebbledale Mines Watts, northeast of Bartow, and residential low and convenience center to neighborhood activity center on about 10 acres. Adoption hearings for these changes are scheduled for October 4th. Well, this wraps up this edition of Dateline Polk. To keep current with programs in progress in the county, visit us online at polk-county.net or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We encourage you to join us at the next scheduled board meeting at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, August 16th. I'm Crystal Roll, and thanks for watching.